Namaskar. I am Himangini Rajput from Elets Technomedia. I'm the Gujarat Bureau Head from Elets. And in today's SecureIT Summit, where we have seen in the inaugural, we have heard Dr. Neeta Verma, DG NIC. We have heard Dr. Rajendra Kumar, Additional Secretary of Ministry of Electronics and IT. And we have heard Lieutenant General Dr. Rajesh Pant, who is the National Security Chief Coordinator, cyber security, and we have heard their inputs, we have heard their expert points on that. And continuing to that, we have our next session that is on leveraging technology, ensuring safe cities, importance of city surveillance. And we have our first speaker for this, Shri Barun Sahuji, who is the Principal Secretary of Home Department and from Government of Tripura. I very warm welcome you, sir, for this session, and thank you for sparing your time for this session. And you play a very important role in the Home Department, which is very much into this security and cyber security thing. So I would like to know about, sir, how what do you think, and to keep the cities and the states safe with the city surveillance and all.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this forum, giving me this forum to give my ideas and share my thoughts. Actually, primarily, I wanted to join this to hear others, rather than to speak myself personally, because I wanted to learn from the experience of others what they are doing. Because I don't know whether the way we are doing, whether it is up to the mark or not. To your specific question, see, in Tripura, we have taken a lot of measures for leveraging technology. Okay. I would like to express myself in the way I thought. So let me digress something slightly from your question. Okay. Sure, when I saw the topic itself, leveraging technology and the safety. Okay. So I thought whether they are synonyms or antonyms. I mean, because sometimes leveraging technology itself can cause these safety issues. Okay, so instead of synonyms, that means going together hand in hand, they may actually be antonyms, and one opposing the other. And this happens at every change in technology, and technology is changing. If we can go, I mean, just to understand the perspective, if we go back thousands or maybe millions of years ago, we were foragers, we were hunters. I mean, our forefathers were foragers and hunters. Okay. Then gradually, our forefathers became, later on, agriculturists and livestock farmers. So this was, I mean, now we regard even agriculture and livestock farming as a very poor technology, or not technology at all sometimes. But actually, if you see the shift from hunter to livestock farmer, or forager to agriculturist, I mean, this technology itself, this was a significant development in technology. It was a revolution, sort of, nothing less than revolution. But then this revolution brought new problems of drought, untimely rain, flood, and diseases to animals. Earlier, these issues were not known to the people. Those who lived in forest and gathered the food from the forest, they did not bother whether it was drought or not, because that did not affect. Untimely rain also did not affect them that much. Even flood did not affect. Interestingly, this farming was done. I mean, the technology, the change to farming was done to have abundance of food, and it did bring abundance of food. But then it did bring so it came. I mean, in a even this farming, if you consider it now, even now a technology, then it came, but it brought new issues. Uh, in the last couple of years, I uh, am seeing something which I would like to highlight here, that sometimes we are doing in a hurry. Sometimes we are implementing technology in a hurry. I mean, hurry, of course, we have to do. I mean, we cannot be complacent and we cannot delay matters. But sometimes, I mean, something may require more time. I mean, we must devote that much of time. Uh, I'm especially talking about this ease of doing business. For ease of doing business, now you know, based on the central government directives, many states are implementing many uh, computerization projects. Okay, uh, but sometimes at the state level, I feel that we are taking a projects which we may not feel very comfortable with, or we may not attach that much of priority. But since it's a target driven sort of thing, and we feel that we should not be tagged among the laggards. So we have to implement ease of doing business, which is largely or is mostly computerization related. So what is happening is that targets are being given, and as a target is achieved, more targets are given. So as more targets are given, things are getting implemented in such a great pace, just to achieve the improved ranking, that not much attention perhaps is being paid to the architecture of the technology, or architecture of the whole thing, of the technology, and also the security aspect.
जी.
Okay, so unless we give importance to this, uh, we may actually end up few years down the line actually complicating the issue. Because I mean, a solution always brings a problem. So in our solution for ease of doing business, we must also look at whether there are seeds of any problem and what are the problems. So okay, so this is the government of India had taken a lot of initiatives for security. It's under the umbrella of interoperable criminal justice system, uh, under which there are significant schemes like CCTNS, e-forensic, e-prosecution, e-courts, e-prison. Then under Women and Child Development Ministry, track the child, then fingerprint, arm licensing, even on computation on private security licenses, and all of these being linked with Aadhaar, Vahan, National Population Register, police verification for passport, victim compensation. So there is a lot of, at the central government level, there is a there is a vision to ultimately have a interoperable criminal justice system having all these components which I just enumerated, uh, from forensic to prosecution to court, and of course policing, CCTNS, and imprisoning, etc. So it's a very significant attempt to have uh, an overarching approach to the whole issue of security and surveillance. Uh, so this will actually solve the issues. Okay. Uh, so far as in Tripura is concerned, I mean, we are making significant progress on all these fronts, on all these schemes, whether it is CCTNS or e-forensic, uh, e-courts, e-prison. Though we have not been able to make much progress on e-prosecution, uh, but on other components of the interoperable criminal justice system, uh, Tripura has done a thing. And also in Tripura, we have smart city. Agartala is declared as a smart city. So under the smart city, we have at several places, system to capture live data, and also we have sensors to collect various disaster related inputs also automatically. So we are trying to, the police is trying to link that also, and we have ERSS system. So so ERSS and smart city, there will be a linkage. That is the plan. Okay, so all these things. So this interoperable criminal justice system, ERSS, and smart city. So all these components, and that is our vision to have to move forward with all these architectures, these technologies, which are in silos, at least smart city and ERSS and this ICJS. So that is our approach, that these should be married together and act in cohesion. They should talk to these applications should talk to each other. Uh, I would like to also point out one or two things so far as the software applications are concerned. I find that these software which are developed largely by NIC, there is inadequate documentation. So what happens is that we virtually follow the Shruti system, the way Vedas passed on from one generation to the other. So something like that is unfortunately happening in so far as the documentation of software under various schemes are concerned. So, for example, I was just asking some persons on who are doing some data entry, etc., on e-prison, uh, e-forensic, etc. So, what I understood was that they were given some training. Uh, okay, they were lowly staffed. They were given just, but there is no documentation. So the documentation is improper, and since people change, so there has to be a documentation. Uh, so there has to be documentation. In fact, I feel that there should be video manuals also on the software. Like companies, they have in the YouTube channel various specifications of their product or what their products will do. So something like that we must have the documentation easily available, and the documentation should be authentic one, not just rough kind of work passing being passed on as a manual. It should be digitally signed. Somebody must take responsibility that this is the manual, or it could be publication. And then I'm not talking about this security aspect, security related schemes, but in other than security, also government in this Tripura, we are taking a lot of steps for, say, configuration of land records and so many registration, etc. So I find that security is not the security of the application. Okay, avoidance of hacking, etc. That is not being given adequate attention. So that means all these will be open to abuse. Okay, so somebody may try to, because all our data are now on the online in the cyberspace. So unless we protect, we protect it, there can be a potential problem later on. So the security features for all government schemes should not only be as just a component, but that should be the very basic architecture on which our this entire computerization should be built upon. I believe that leveraging technology is possible, but it has a prerequisite, as just I have highlighted, on security being the very foundation of it, documentation, then of course skill development, uh, 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 in Tripura, I find that sometimes the leveraging technology is not adequately funded, and if it is actually these things cost money. These are not this cost money, and huge money actually. So, and also when then we find also that we don't have the sufficiently skilled manpower, because the technology is such that they require a different skill set than the police force and others traditionally had. And also the skills need to be updated every maybe 2-3 years down the line. Otherwise, the skills set becomes obsolete and useless. Uh, so all the solutions which we have and which we want to have in future must have the security aspect, the documentation aspect, audit trail, and we also have to improve our capacity for forensic analysis. These days, there has been a significant increase in the crime by use of technology, whether it is the telephone, this Nigerian fraud kind of thing. I mean, it is the number is actually increasing, by leaps and bounds. I mean, I was talking to the forensic people, the data they have given, it shows, I mean, significant increase in the crime using technology by the criminals or the abusers. So the I mean, so our law enforcing agencies, they have to uh, acquire a new skill set and also technologies to trace them, to track them, map them, and gather sufficient information which can be actually we can the level we are, we find it very difficult to prosecute, even though we are able to crack a case. But when it comes to prosecution, we are not able to produce such convincing evidences that the courts can award punishment to the offenders uh, beyond reasonable doubt. So we have to, yeah. So these are the things I thought I would like to talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I think there were very important points we had discussed here. Uh, it is true that with the technology, we also have to beware of the repercussions with that, and we can definitely take time in whatever things we launch and we implement. So that is really very important. And also the about the agri-tech you told us is a really great thing. And we have also joined we are also joined by Maithili Sharan Gupta, sir. He's the former Director General of Police. uh, a very warm welcome, sir. And thank you for sparing time for today's session. And we are grateful to have you here, sir, today. And sir, I think my question is same for you also. That what do you think? For the cities, how we can ensure the safety nowadays, where we are being we are into this continuous threat of cyber attacking and the cyber safety. So, what are your points on that, sir?
Thank you for first of all to invite me for this session, which is a very important session. But let me say, I will come out with an absolutely different approach. I feel there's something wrong with our approach. When we talk of the cyber security, when we talk of the attack, when we talk of the hacking, basically in the process, we are spreading fear in the name of awareness. billions dollar of industry is being created. And our technocrat, those who should design positive developmental solution, instead of devising and dedicating their energy in this dimension, they are dedicating their energy in creating cyber threat. They are creating virus. They are creating dark nets. So this will certainly will happen because they are the technocrat, those who know that where they will get the business. So now I will come out with a very original approach, and there lies it's a panacea for all kind of the problem in all sphere of life. Forget about the city surveillance. I am talking of it will be panacea for the whole country. It will be changing the very face and fate of this country. So I will come before going to the cyber security or surveillance and those kind of the things. I will come out with the very first thing. When we invented internet and whatever the hand-shaking protocol they were designed, they were largely focused to establish communication. Now more and more activities are happening in cyberspace. Hence, it is a high time to revise our protocol. Basically my team is working to do that job, because whenever I perceive any problem, I immediately go for developing solution for it. So my recommendation that it is something like that somebody is inventing a gun, and then we started working on the shield, so that shield should be good enough to protect itself from that gun. And people will, in the process, people will keep on inventing guns, missiles, this, that, and threats. I will go absolutely in different mindset. I will say it is a time to have the different protocols. So number one is present protocol. So let it be. Once you complete the first protocol, then it will go the device identification protocol. It means you may be having IP address, that may be a temporary address given to you, and probably for getting the details you are dependent on the server from where you have that it is being logged. So we are saying it is the criminal, it is the other party who is having the compulsive behavior to have the handshake or to enter into the cyberspace. Now, at the time of entering, after the first handshake, say, it will capture the identity of the device through which it is being captured. So we will capture MAC address, we will capture all kind of the details. We will capture IMEI, and we will capture even the SMIE, all those kind of the things will be captured. Then we will try to go to the third protocol. The third protocol is the identity of the person. So identity protocol is very important. Many people might really criticize my way of looking at it, and they will say that what about the privacy, what about the fundamental rights? So we are having a different system for addressing privacy issue. Rather, I am the person who is guaranteeing privacy. So we are going much beyond, and we will say we will not give you or we will not discuss about the privacy, but we will guarantee privacy to you. But before that, we have to capture your identity. So somebody will say it's a freedom of speech hai, and by giving the identity, freedom of speech would be hindered. Here, my way of looking at it is a little different. When you talk your fundamental right as a freedom of speech, whose freedom of speech? It's my freedom of speech as a citizen of the country, as a Maithili Saran Gupt. If I take away my identity, there cannot be any right. So fundamental right will only exist when I attach my identity. So if you want to exercise any right, you cannot exercise that right unless you are attaching your identity. So that identity has to be attached if you want to exercise that right. So we would like to capture identity, and along with the identity, date, time, and location will be captured. Now the location is playing important role. See, if somebody is in Pakistan, somebody may be in China, then we will ask for the additional surety and guarantee that you are not threat to the system. Right? maybe in terms of your bank details, then maybe in terms of the agreement, maybe in terms of, so that when you are entering into the cyberspace, your identity is known and your capability to damage or inflict some threat, it may be there, but at the same time, our capacity to capture your identity, our capacity to capture evidences and prosecute you would be on much higher platform. So the moment you commit a crime, we would be in position to capture you wherever you are. And since you are doing this for the sake of earning money, so I would not like to really put you behind the bar. I feel it is not a good option to put somebody behind the wall for the thing which is he doing for the financial gain. So for the financial gain, we can have some kind of compounding fees. So if you are inflicting a loss of 10 lakh rupees, the compounding fees will be 1 crore rupees, something like that. And whosoever will be capturing those evidences, he will get 50% of the money. So 50% of money will go in the government treasury, and 50% money will go whosoever will be capturing and creating system for doing that. So our energy will start going in the direction of almost making it impossible to commit cyber crime, or later on as a police officer I will say that I am working on a system which is called Crime Free India, and I am saying work with me. Within a year, doing a crime will not be option for anybody. We have to come out with those kind of the solution. At present, we are part of the problem. We are living with the problem. Now a time has come that we can look at differently, and solutions are there. And if somebody is having any doubt about that, I invite him to, every Monday, 5:30, I conduct an open session. Whosoever is in disagreement, I invite him to please come on the, we will invite you on the open session, and we will have one-to-one. I feel at present, what the Americans and other countries, those who are designing weaponry and things like that, they are doing or creating system, missiles, this, that, and selling it and creating a buyer's market. Now a time has come that we should not fall in the trap. Now the whosoever, the very capacity of committing crime, that should do away. Now the second part I will come. So what we are saying, there should be, identity is already captured. There will be 3 protocol of the communication, protocol of the identity of the device, then protocol of the identity of a person, including with his location. And the location will be used to have a further protocol if some further re-strengthening is required. So if the person or target is located in the country which is more inimical in nature, they are patronizing that, or there are state-sponsored terrorism, there is a state-sponsored crime, then we will have that additional 4th protocol for such country. See, China is having its own internal system. You cannot enter into their cyberspace. Then why the Chinese are being allowed to enter into our space? So anybody is from China, unless he observes the extra protocol, we will not allow him to come to our space. So now making cyberspace more secure by capturing identity, by capturing evidence, and creating a legal framework. And now I will come to the second dimension of cybercrime. Cybercrime को मैं बिल्कुल, वैसे तो वो फिशिंग कहते हैं, PHISING फिशिंग, बट हम यहाँ पे FISHING पे बात करेंगे, फिशिंग. जैसे आप साइबर क्राइम इज समथिंग लाइक थ्रोइंग ए नेट फॉर कैचिंग फिश, मछलियां पकड़ने के लिए. जी. नाउ you throw your net in a very large area. Say you are sending mails to say 3,000, 5,000, maybe a lakh of the people, and only few person will be caught in your net. Here, your net and attempt, each attempt is a crime. So if I have thrown net for the 30,000 people, I have committed 30,000 crimes. Now, instead of developing capacity for auto capturing or registration of FIR, and with all evidences prosecuting that person with certainty. Now, even if he has even the full 10% or even he attempted on 10%, and if we say that minimum punishment for each crime will be 7 years, we will come that kind of the legal framework, right? So, if we go for the sequential punishment, it means 10 into 7. He will be in prison for 70 years. It means he will languish in jail. These technocrats, those who are creating that kind of the threat, they are बहुत ही जो है ना चूहे टाइप के लोग होते हैं. They don't have the guts. They cannot spend even a jail in a day jail. So we have to create a certainty. They should languish in jail. That is a better solution rather than जो है ना creating millions dollar of the seal. Everybody is throwing. Everybody is for the security, and the security awareness. Those should be there, but it should be there for more for reporting, more for taking cognizance, more for collecting evidence, more for ensuring certainty of conviction in court of law. And for that, I have already designed a system where the court trial can be converted without going to court. So let me say about what crime-free Bharat I am talking of. It is providing 5 certainties. Number 1 certainty, cognizance of the crime without visiting police station. The model is already ready. This model is at the same time, while it is giving the certainty of registration of crime, it is granting another certainty. If you report a false crime, the person will be prosecuted under section 182 and 211 with the equal certainty. I have recommended to the government of India that these 2 sections, they should be made cognizable, and whatever the false crime is being reported, the punishment should be the same. So if it is a rarest of rare case and the person has committed a murder case falsely, or he fabricated a case whereby giving a color of a murder and trying to implicate somebody, and if it comes in the category of the rarest of rare case, then for such false reporting, literally he should be, and he could be hanged theoretically. I am not advocating that he should be hanged, but I am saying theoretically he could be hanged. That kind of the system need to be created when we talk of the first certainty, that is the certainty of commission of crime. And I am very happy to announce the system is ready with us. Now the second certainty it is offering the certainty or guarantee of the privacy to the individual. Third, it is guaranteeing de-stressing and unburdening of police force. And fourth, it is guaranteeing that since we are guaranteeing privacy, hence the raw data will not be coming into the hand of the police official. It will be under custody of the national authority. For that, we have created a law also, National Authority for Scientific and Technical Assistance in investigation and detection of crime, and it has been created under the legal provision 65C, List 1, Schedule 7 of our Constitution. And the draft is ready. It has already been sent to BPRND to be processed by the MHA, and it should be gone for the enactment. And this act, it is giving 4 or 5 guarantee. Number 1, it is ensuring the present federal balance. So it is not something like NIA or something like CBI where the power is being shifted to the center. No, that will not be done. So that this authority will ensure that federal balance should be maintained as it is. Number 1. Number 2, it is guaranteeing privacy to the citizen to the extent if any person or authority within the authority also use that information for any ulterior purpose, it will be a serious offense with the minimum punishment of 7 years. So the same chairman who is chairing that authority, if he violated or if he violates some privacy right of some individual, he will be languishing in jail for 7 years. Then third, it is guaranteeing a state-of-art support system for investigating officer, and without him to understand technical complexity. So though he will be investigating very complex cyber crime, though he might be investigating white collar crime, might be investigating, say, money laundering and whatnot. But he would be in position to do state-of-art work without really understanding its complexity. So, an app has been created to help out the police officer of a very normal wisdom to collect from the scene whatever he cannot do. Now it will be much beyond his imagination what this app will be providing the kind of the support. Number two, the backend engine is having the access to the CCTNS data, and the historical data will be data analytics will be worked to identify who is most likely to commit this crime. Now, lot of data will be requisitioned under Section 91 CRPC about the CDR, PST, this, that, and assessment will be made about his likelihood of committing the crime. And if the likelihood says yes, he may commit this crime, then his photograph will be pushed on the real-time basis to the investigating officer. And if anyone has been seen him, crime is detected.
Right.
Once crime is detected, his whole span will be expanded. So now we are having a lot of crime to map with his movement or with his economic gain. So while we are investigating one crime, we might identify or detect 200 or 500 offenses. So, and then the system will push this information, which may be beyond that district, which may be beyond that state, and will ensure the certainty of registration, will ensure the certainty of prosecution also. That kind of the powerful system. Then, if somebody at present, police officer goes with the folded hand, sir, a document chahiye, we need this document for the sake of investigation, and that person treating him as the Lord, he is just not bothered despite the many reminders. So the system will ensure certainty of conviction of such Lord under Section 188. So 91 read with 188, that bloody bugger will be prosecuted with certainty. And the system will not stop at this. It will go to the court, will get the warrant, and will help the police to conduct the search and seizure. And our police will go just like a Hanuman and will pick up all the system, and then our technical expert will try to find out Sanjeevani. So police will act as a Hanuman, and the technical expert will act as a Ved, who will identify the Sanjeevani. And in the process, so much damage will be caused to the organization about its prestige that the bugger who has not given that information, he will certainly be saved by that concerning department, by concerning organization. He will not survive even there for a day. So now it is question of creating the system and showing the legal might. अभी हमने सबको चूहा बना दिया है. जो law abiding officer है, वो he is vulnerable. He is vulnerable for accusation. He is in a lot of threat. He is lot of pressure. He is suffering from blood pressure. He is suffering from diabetes. His life is miserable. He is not enjoying any self-esteem. Now we are here not to really prove technical superiority before the court of law. So whatever the stuff has been done by our technology, we will deliberately take it to the expert, and we throw again on the real-time basis with the all tools, and we will help out the expert to do a quality job. So we are creating additional evidence under Section 45 Evidence Act also.
Right.
Then the system is creating 3 evidences, 3 certificates on the real-time basis as the evidence would be moving. That is the certificate of admissibility, certificate of integrity, and certificate of chain of custody. So each evidence would be almost infallible in court of law. Then it is going to help out the court. And then, as the first place we said, registration of FIR without going to court, without going to Thana. Now we are having the guts to say that there will be court trial without visiting court. So the court trial will be happening, multiple court sessions will be held in virtual space, and with a greater degree of the transparency, greater degree of accountability, and with the better security scenario. So we are eyeing that the present pendency of 3 crore of the cases will just get dissolved in a year.
That
So
is
we will be in position to restore the credibility of the court, credibility of the legal process.
right.
We are not stopping over here. This system, unfortunately, has been created, so-called the policing. It is still being governed by, it's very unfortunate that it is still being governed by Police Act of 1861. I really fail to understand why, despite the facts we have already created, model जो है ना Police Act, why that is not being enacted? Is it indicate that the Police Act of the 1861 is better suited to the politician? So, either we will be governed by the convenience of the politician, or we should be governed by the security consideration of citizen. I think it is a thing which needs to be deliberated, because for the consideration of this politician, I am having a pity about their way of thinking. Let me say, let's talk about the second point. You cannot become a peon if you are having a criminal record. Then why the criminals are being 43% of parliamentary and they are criminals? There was a PIL in Supreme Court which had been rejected by Supreme Court saying that no, it is not within my forte. Though I find there is a fault in the judgment of the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court under Article 142 is having the power to devise ways and means to impart justice. Since the people of the criminal record, they are somewhere affecting imparting of the justice. Hence, Supreme Court should have invoked this power under Article 142 of Constitution. But forget about that, what Supreme Court did not do. Why the politicians are not revising and framing rules that no criminal can become politician? They cannot become a public representative. Now somebody may say, कि साहब ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? Because they sometimes go for the public agitation, this and that, and some crime is being committed. I am having full sympathy for them. So any crime which has been committed in that kind of the scenario will not be a disqualification. At least the real murderer, real rapist, they should be out of frame. So now it is a time when the political compulsion should really redefine himself. These imaginary political compulsion must go from this free and democratic country. Now we are having such a powerful Prime Minister, Honorable Narendra Modi, who is known for taking tough decisions. He has removed Article 370, and more than that, he brought UT and made it UT. I was IG Operations Kashmir for 1.5 years and responsible for eliminating 130 terrorists. Let me tell you, more than Article 370, it is making it Union Territory is a more potent weapon which will be helping out Jammu and Kashmir. Militants कुछ भी कर लें, Kashmir तो अच्छा होगा ही होगा. I am saying because now it is Union Territory, because whatever rubbish was happening, it was happening on account of the political patronage of the state government, which very rightly criticized by Honorable Prime Minister 2 days back. So I fully endorse my views of my Honorable Prime Minister, and I expect that it is a time of the political cleansing. And I think Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, they are having the political guts to go for that kind of the political cleansing. No security or national security is possible unless we cleanse our democracy, which is themselves 43% of them, they are criminals. And it is a very high time to do. And what about the political compulsion? We are talking, say, after 2004, no bureaucrat will be getting pension. Then why widow of Ajit Jogi is getting, somebody told me, I don't know to what extent it is correct, somebody told me widow of Ajit Jogi is getting 7 pension. So I questioned him, he said he will send me a document, I don't know to what extent is true. But even if it is say if he is not getting 7, even if she is getting 3 or 4, then it is a mockery. And if you feel that criminal qualification is very good, then हमको कहना चाहिए कि जो है ना UPSC में जिसके जितने ज्यादा क्राइम होंगे, he will get those additional marks. So we will have the better criminals to support political criminals. So there will be much more and better symbiotic relationship. So, so third, Johanna, we were talking about the it will be giving you a better guarantee of privacy. It will be helping out you to give the detection, and then it is helping out to give you the conviction. And it is not stopping at that. It is going to the for the fourth certainty of the prevention. We have already created a system capable of capturing whosoever is moving out with the intention to commit crime. Based on the various attributes, system is in position to draw inference that he is moving out with the intention of committing crime. And through the smart strategy, we will pick up that person, and we will, if it is a preparation is an offense, we will book him for the preparation. If attempt is a offense, we will book him for the attempt. And if he is not falling in these two categories, then we will book him under the preventive section. And with that, we will say, committing crime is not an option. We will not allow you to commit crime. Do you feel that with this fourth certainty, we would be in position to ensure crime-free Bharat? I am of the considered opinion no. Because the person, if his stomach is empty, he will commit crime to go to jail. So if the jail is a better place to live in, then only God is going to save us. So for that, since system knows everything about everybody, and it is guaranteeing the right to privacy also, and at the same time, then why we should wait? So our system, through the volunteers, they will be approaching criminals, and the criminals would be rehabilitated with the certainty. So less number of the people would be available to commit crime. My friend will agree with me. There are a number of the villages. I know a village, near Sai Baba's place, Sanichar. There's nobody commits crime because the people don't have that kind of the tendency. So when the opportunity of committing crime will not be there and option of committing crime will not be there, there will be behavior modification. This system is guaranteeing 5 revenue stream, and we are boasting that we will be tripling per capita income by 3 times. Honorable Prime Minister has said that with his vision, our economy will be growing from 3 trillion to 5 trillion economy. I would like to plead to my Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi, you go by my suggestion, I promise India will become 15 trillion economy. It will be at the top of the world. And at the same time, the back end, there will be behavior modification. There will be the better way, because this earlier our behavior was being guided through the ethical system, through the religious system, through the spiritual system. Now this system, they have totally weakened. Society is not in position to influence our behavior, and we are now governed by the monetary consideration. We are committing crime, and we are basically, we have accumulated so much of the tension that now mobocracy is becoming a order of the day, mob lynching is becoming order of the day. So by implementing crime-free Bharat, I am saying that we will be in position to have all solutions. Committing crime, including cyber crime, will not be an option. The negative energy which is going for devising various solutions for the safety, we will keep on doing that, because by having a law or prosecuting, say, murderer, we might prosecute a murderer with certainty, but at the same time, can we afford to lose our dignitary? So for the sake of saving our dignitary, we have to have the security provisions. We have to have security protocol, because even that one person, though we might be in position to save millions, but even if one statesman, one very vulnerable target, if he has been liquidated or murdered, probably we cannot afford to have that kind of the loss. So we will certainly continue to have the security apparatus, because we would not like even to that one crime which could be committed against our vital installation and things like that. If we could really go by this way, I think a lot of problem will be solved. I will invite questions on this, that how the people feel about it. If they are in agreement, I will say, please you join our discussion on crime-free Bharat. It is an open discussion on every Monday at 5:30, and everybody is invited to challenge it. Whatever the solution we have generated with the help of 54 universities. It is in-house generation. If you will come out with any logic, we will be in position to even devise solution for that. So I was talking to a few of my IPS friends, and they were saying, Kisab, it is too idealistic. So I said कि a system which is effective and doable and it is idealistic, then आपके पेट में दर्द क्यों है? Why you are afraid of idealistic solution if it is doable, if it is practical? So idealistic and doing something miraculous cannot be a problem and cannot be a kind of a things which the people are saying, Kisab, it is too good to be accepted. You come forward. If there's some lacuna, I promise within 10 and 15 days and at the most within 1 month, I will devise the solution for that. And since we are the designer of the solution, we need not to go to anybody. Now, I will come about your city surveillance. So I am not even in agreement with the present way of the city surveillance. I am saying let it be no expenditure from the government should be there. Let's go to the public. Let it be under triple P model, and it will be not only doing the surveillance, but rather it will be capturing offenses, it will be capturing evidences, and a heavy revenue stream should come to them, and that will be modifying their per capita income also. So if we will be doing at our level, then there will be n number of issues. By revising our methodology, probably we will be providing better solution. With this, I would like to stop at this point and will like to request if somebody is having question, because I am talking something very original. I am talking about the revising the protocols. I am talking the revising the methodology. I am talking of the revising of the court system. I am promising that I will be helping not only in cognizable offences but non-cognizable offences also. I am saying that I will dissolve your 3 crore court pendency. So it will be a panacea for all kind of the things. And if that panacea is possible, it cannot be rejected by saying it is too idealistic.
True.
If it is idealistic but practical and if it is doable, I think everybody should jump on it and should do it. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. I think you have touched the nerves of the current situation. So definitely, I think many of them will be having queries and questions. I would request if they can post it online. Our live session is going on. You can post your questions there, and you can also get the email ID of sir, and you can post questions there also. And he also suggested that he has the open session every Monday evening, so you are free to join that session. And we are in this session, we have been joined by Shri Loknath Behraji, Director General of Police, Kerala Police. Very warm welcome to you, sir, for this session. And also we have been joined by M. Nagarajan. He is the IAS and Commissioner of Higher Education. Sir, very warm welcome to you too, sir. And thank you for sparing your time for today's session. And my very quick question to Loknath, sir. Sir, as you know, I mean, Maithili Sharan sir has, pointed out this issue, which is very important to know. Sir, what are your views on this surveillance for the safety of the cities and the cyber security threat that we are currently facing? So what are your views on that?
Yeah, actually, my namaste to Maithili Sharan Saab, because his crime-free India concept, we are actually implementing it in Kerala. And I had actually assured him, and he wrote a thing relating to this for Kerala police exclusively, thanks to him. And we had quite some discussion. And this crime-free Bharat and ultimately crime-free states, this is a kind of a mission statement every police should actually follow. That's what I feel, because this has a lot of traditional things as well as modernism put together. surveillance is one of them. And surveillance nobody likes. Let us be very honest. I never like, nobody, Nisa will never like, or ma'am, nobody will like the surveillance. Somebody is being watched, what you are going to do. So we have a lot of actually problems relating to surveillance, not only in India, but elsewhere also. And people have gone to constitutional courts actually challenging various forms of surveillance being conducted by the law enforcement or intelligence or security agencies. But what actually is the important thing is that in the cities, we actually copied a model of city surveillance from various cities which have done long back. Take it Detroit, take it Barcelona. These are the model cities where the surveillance through the ICT have been followed by many other cities subsequently. Our system of, when you want to actually put an Western concept with our culture, it becomes a little difficult, but not impossible. See, Kerala by that way had actually put this, Kerala earlier used to call the camera state, but everywhere they will be putting a camera. I mean, not only the government, but also even the private people. If the door is also there. So what is happening is the surveillance through cameras is one thing. That is actually taking your photograph or videograph and sending it. Long back when I went to England for some work, then they showed me the so-called ring of steel. And whatever, so they say that a particular person goes out from his house is actually and goes to his office and comes back, he's at least videographed by these cameras 14 times. So this kind of thing, London, though a very traditional city, used to actually have. Now with the smart city concept coming to Kerala, to India, and government of India giving huge amount of money, we have implemented these smart cities in 2 cities in Kerala. One is Cochin, another is in Trivandrum. So Cochin, actually the camera surveillance system has been in fact inaugurated 2 days back. And they have all the analytics, ANPR, etc., at various junctions. Now, going by the number of cameras, then they say that there is sort by that another 400 cameras are being added right now. It will be do 2 things. One is for traffic, another is for general surveillance. But what is more important, actually, what people do not like, maybe the cameras in the public places help the police in many ways to prevent a crime and also detect many crimes. The cameras are basically in Kerala, we have used for detection of very good cases. And that is a good thing. All the officers, they like. There is a saying that 1 camera is equal to 10 police officers. People say, and it helps. But the most crucial thing which the world is now doing is the sensors. That is not actually a photograph. The sensors will actually, with analytics, will collect the data. And now that data is transmitted to a centralized control room. It is being analyzed by the government agencies, and then action is being taken. It need not be a photograph or a videograph. It actually it talks about the actually, say for example, a simple thing is that the sensor will determine the assembling of the crowd, and the sensor will say that in a particular 1 square kilometer how many people are assembled. It is not taking a picture and sending it. It can also say what will be your speed, how much of speed you are doing it. These kind of things are also being implemented in various cities abroad. To my mind, such things are not there so far in India. These kind of sensors, actually, that is in another way for policymakers, for the enforcement, it will be useful. Now the question is whether this is coming to the privacy, issues of privacy, because India having that, our constitution is highly protective about privacy, right to privacy, etc. So we can always actually explain that the reasonable restriction on the constitutional rights is there. Therefore, a little bit of compromise on the privacy for the public order is permissible. That as per the constitutional, it is permissible. But how much of surveillance will be done? So today we start it. I am not actually sounding negative at all. I am a great advocate of technology and technological developments in the society. But we have to actually, like Gupta Sahab already has written that in the paper, everything in a particular limit is good. When it goes beyond the limit, then it becomes problem. So we have to necessarily think in those things. Don't overdo things, which will increase societal issues, problems, etc. Now, in the name of actually surveillance, you should not actually do such things which will affect the individual and private rights of a particular person. That is the actually thing which I am going to say. The second thing is that the one other thing, important thing, because it's a technical forum, I'll tell you one thing. If the security system of the camera network is not good, it will be highly manipulated by the people. And so much so that your basic objective of bringing safety and security will be compromised. If I can hack a system, which happened some time back, we were doing some work in Bombay, there was actually a hacking. Say you see, I'll tell you how a small hacking, not only into the, to the public network, in a private network also, it can be hacked. And what happened after the Varanasi blast case? The entire thing, actually, a particular person who was involved in that, he hacked a network. So, and spoofed his identity. This kind of things also is possible, so that there will be a lot of false positives, and which will mislead the law enforcement or security agency. So, a robust security system, unhackable, though it is actually a very ideological thinking, should be there. Otherwise, the camera network and the surveillance network will create larger issues. So, whenever we are going to put this, also I spoke to the consultants who are now putting these surveillance systems in Cochin and Trivandrum. I said that you have to show me your security. How much of it? And I told some people to hack the system. And then we will see that how actually is possible or not. That is one of the things we must actually, from the beginning, if we are cautious about that, subsequent spending of money on security will not be there. It will be inbuilt from the beginning. That is the second point I wanted to say. The third point and the last point which I wanted to say is that, look, the sensors, the cameras will be inevitable. Well, by persons like us sitting at the policy level or decision-making level, always we will say that, okay, paisa aa gaya, chalo modernization mein paisa kharch kar do. And so that what happens is that, okay, chalo Hyderabad mein 500 camera hai, usko 600 kar do. So that is how we actually work. I am very candid about that, without actually too much of application of mind, escalating the numbers and going on additions. This is the typical thing we do. But now what as the time has come, we should be little intelligent that what are the things where we can do it. Say, for example, if you have the cameras, say in Bhubaneswar, some years back, when one of the IIT, from a person who was an IIT graduate, he gave it the consultancy, and during that 3 years back, and the Bhubaneswar system of the camera surveillance was the best in the country, because it has a lot of analytics. And because that was actually done later, so the later the persons who start the things late, will always gain the best of the technology. So therefore it was. Now I cannot say, because people have actually improved. There are a lot of things have happened in Indore. There are a lot of things have happened elsewhere, also in Ghaziabad, etc. A lot of new things have come. Kanpur, etc. Those places which were not actually thought to be very, very advanced are now really advanced in terms of security and surveillance. So only thing is that those officers who are from, at the policy level, at the decision-making level, must be aware of how much we have to go. Say the question of how much of analytics we have to use, how much of things we should do in surveillance, etc. I mean, general surveillance, traffic management, traffic surveillance, etc. So, lot of technology are available now off the shelf. And what will be the appropriate for this? See, the camera surveillance in Bangalore, say for Bangalore, and or in Hyderabad, even that waste management is actually also controlled, I was told, by the cameras. Waste management is very good. If you go and throw something and actually create waste, you will be prosecuted. So that kind of things also is possible. These are very good things. There's energy use. How if you see, somebody told me that if you put your lights on for the whole night and you are not there, you will be caught for wasting energy. That is can be also a kind of surveillance. So the latest I saw last year, I mean in the beginning of this year, when I went to Dubai, I saw a very beautiful system of home surveillance, which is the help of the Dubai police, the citizens are doing. They say that it is very privacy wise, it's quite good, and it is all controlled through a mobile phone. So fine. So I'm not talking in terms of technology. The technology has to improve, and it is improving. But I'm only making a caution that too much of things should not be done, and we should go in a graduated, calibrated manner, and so that things become like people will themselves ask that this much of technology is required. See, in Kerala, very one small thing before I end, I say, you know what happened? Before the cities were having the camera network, the so-called semi-urban and rural areas, Kerala, there is not much of divide between rural and urban. Every rural place looks like urban area here. So what happens is that they first put the cameras, then even in the bigger cities, and they were so fond of that. The private people came and put the cameras and gave the feed, the control to the police station. So that helped me quite a bit. So I don't have to spend money, but I got all the benefit from that. So this kind of things are also good to do, but there is not much of analytics in that. So if you can see the things, you can do the traffic as well, you can surveil. That is what. So thank you very much for giving me time, and I feel very privileged to speak to Elets all the time. I'm in e-governance magazine, and also I'm speaking for the last so many years. So from my Delhi days. So thank you once again, and I look forward for the comments or the suggestions or directions. And I must compliment. I take this opportunity to tell a word about Gupta Saab. Sir, your paper is excellent, and we have actually not only I read it, so I thought that I know you. That's why you would say that you only praised me. So I gave it to the younger people who are actually 5 to 6 years in service. I mean, highly motivated and highly, I mean, technically qualified. Yesterday night, actually evening, we had a meeting how it is to be, I mean, implemented crime-free Kerala. That is, we are going to actually go for that. In one day, it cannot happen. You have already clearly stated, but you have to start it now, so that in a year, 2 years, or 3 years, you can actually achieve all the targets. So that is also the surveillance is a particular part that also will look after, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time and sharing your valuable inputs. It is you truly stated that everything in limit is good, and if, otherwise we have that repercussions if we go out of limit. And बहुत अच्छा लगा हमें आप सबको यहाँ देख करके, and we have such expert in IT. I mean, he is the perfect person, I would say, in the ICT implementation, in the governance, and not only that, but he because he was the CEO of Surat Smart City, and we have seen him doing lot of things, in improvising the IT in the cities and whichever districts he has gone to. We have Mr. M. Nagarajan. He is a commissioner of higher education right now in government of Gujarat. And it is our pleasure, sir, having you here today. And we would like to have your special address. I mean, not because only you have been in the Surat, But we have seen you working in many other fields. I mean, IT in health, IT in education. You have done a lot for the districts also. So we would like to have your experience in the same thing, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Very good afternoon to all of you and all the respected sirs who have spoken before me. And I have also learnt a lot from all the words of wisdom from vast field experience that you have all shared. I'm slightly a misfit today because a lot of talk about security and surveillance and policing and cyber security has happened. Though the domain is slightly different, fundamentally, I also feel that I should contribute to the building of safe society using technology. And I'm glad to have had a lot of informative inputs and also insights from all the seniors here, especially Bera sir and Gupta sir. I also agree with Bera sir's comments about surveillance because in the Surat Smart City, I had the experience of implementing the traffic control system and the Smart City Command and Control Center. Some of the challenges and the decisions that we have to take have to be taken up, balancing the need for privacy and also the need for better efficient public services and also cooperation between the civic authority and the police authority within a city area, and also for better traffic management. That were all wonderful lessons that I had learned. And please sir, you had mentioned the right things about how to make a practical balance in implementation of technology. And to just to add a few points to what all the eminent people and panelists have shared here, I have just put together a collection of thoughts just to add a little bit flavor to the existing conversation. I'll just share my screen. Is my presentation visible?
No, sir. It is not visible.
You have to extend the screen. I think swap the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will come now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm pretty, I must say with all humbleness, I'm very junior in this experience. But what attracted me to this conference is the intersection of IT, technology, and the security aspect of the country, both from the internal security and the external security angle. So I'll just share some of the perspectives. So when we talk about national security, we are talking about how India is trying to become not just self-sufficient but very self-reliant India. There is a renewed sense of eminence of the country and the global stage. And these aspects of self-reliance is the ability of India to not just field weapons manufactured locally, and also to provide security of supply of spare parts, which many times puts us into a position of dependency on other countries. And also India is also a very crucial space where we are debating about the direction of the future defense requirements. And some people argue that it should develop the eventual capability to fully design, develop, and produce major armament systems. And also India should focus on the component design in junction with foreign partners to provide very competitive ability in these niche areas. So under the national self-reliance program also, a lot of strategic objectives have been set to reach the high levels, if not self-reliance, at least in the self-reliance in the defense production in the next few years. Rightly so, my previous speakers also pointed out that we don't need a lot of heavy things to be as for to secure the country, but a lot of soft things and technology oriented things are needs. One of the, just I will put one point, there are so many other examples, but I would like to just touch upon this growth of digitization. The UPI interface and the national payments interface which is there has recorded more than 1 billion transactions in the first 15 days of October, which is like very phenomenal because it was recently introduced. And if we talk about 1 billion transaction, every adult can be assumed to have made at least one transaction in this month for this country, which is a very eye-opening statistic about the rate of digitization in the country, and also especially in the payments aspect. And also digital payments have grown at a compounded rate of above 55% over the last 4 years. And some of the threats that are also coming up, especially from the external side, India is transforming from a state in which she must stand on her own 2 feet in the international community. And like I said about our self-reliance thing, and also major security challenges from China, and also unstable Pakistan, and also increased threat of missile attacks from nearby countries, and internal security challenges in Kashmir, and also in the left-wing extremist affected areas. And the cyber landscape, we have to ask a few questions, like whether we are from the individual perspective, an organizational perspective, or a country perspective. Some of the questions that we should be asking is, who has access to my resources in my ecosystem? Because a holistic view is needed. We cannot leave out any one single aspect, or there cannot be any one Achilles heel in our entire system. And is my ecosystem digital channels are secure? And also, is my organization handling personal information, and is it secure? This is where we are talking about personally identifiable information. Even we had a lot of debate in the country regarding the implementation of Arogya Setu application, and whether it leads to leakage of privacy, private information, and also how to find this balance. And are we geared to geared up for securing the new technology? Because the rate of change of technology, the delta of technology has really is increasing day by day. And we also have the responsibility to make it diversified and inclusive, and available to each and every citizen of this country. And how efficient we are, effective we are in detection and prevention and response capabilities. And also stakeholders, how do we manage, and what is our cyber security posture, and what will be our architecture, and what are our investigation capabilities. So these are broadly the aspects that we can apply when we are thinking for a cyber secure information system. And these are some of the statistics which all of you might have come across, that our internet users has reached nearly 73 crores, and rural areas also, new users are coming up from rural areas, and mobile internet usage has reached more than 50 crores. And our mobile video content growth, online shopping, e-commerce, travel have all tremendously increased. So with this increase in the usage, there is also increase in the attacks. If you have seen that there is a lot of 37% increase in cyber attacks in the first quarter of 2020, wherein we had to tackle with the pandemic also. And also in the last quarter, there has been a very increasing trend. And also the number of threats that have been blocked are also increasing. Data shows that India now ranks 27th globally in the number of web threats detected by Kaspersky, the internet company. And that we have also increased from the 32nd position to 27th position in terms of number of threats detected. And India ranks 11th worldwide in the number of attacks caused by servers that were hosted in the country. They are probably compromised servers. And we all have a lot of anecdotal evidence about, despite knowing the things about setting basic security aspects like a proper password and other things, we still leave out because of lack of seriousness, or sometimes even lack of professionalism in our approach to managing our cyber and IT systems. The average cost of data breach in India has risen from risen up to 7.9% since 2017. And cyber insurance awareness has also increased, and more than 40% increase across in the last 2 years, in 2018 when compared to 2017. So the some some of the concerns also here when we talk about people using social media at a larger stage, where people look at it as a source of entertainment, and not look at the not or ignoring the aspects of security. There is a disproportionate attention sometimes is on misleading agenda, which is a threat to national security. Some portion of video is released and not incendiary, which leads to a wrong interpretation. When India is grappling with the COVID-19 along with Chinese transgression, The fact that China has already been using all the Indian sources on its social media to mold the facts. So this is one kind of a psychological warfare that is enabled by the digital mechanisms and social media technologies, which are now it is being used at a scale which is more visible and more part of the strategy of any country. And dealing with aggressive China will also require India to take strict measures such as media sensitization and also very good response from the geopolitical angle. So we are having a lot of organizations that are doing path-breaking work in tackling all these challenges, especially the National Technical Research Organization, which is the main agency for critical infrastructure and also to handle all the cyber security incidents in the country. And the emergency computer emergency response team, which is a certain, is almost doing the daily brickwork or footwork of conducting the analysis, forecast, and alerts on cyber security issues and breaches. Advisories are frequently issued. Almost daily updates are coming up from Ministry of Home Affairs to states and union territories on steps to take prevent cyber crimes, and it is also available for wider dissemination by the public. Ministry of Home Affairs is implementing the cyber crime prevention against women and children scheme with the intent to prevent reduce cyber crimes against women and children. And also the scheme will implement stricter laws and policies to conduct programs to spread awareness about cyber threats and how to deal with them. Even under the Digital India campaign, the National Digital Literacy campaign, major focus has been kept on cyber awareness for the common citizens, especially even in villages where a lot of good work is going on in the last 2-3 years. There is also an effort to train the state and central government employees on cyber security and cyber hygiene practices. The broadcast engineering consultants, a PSU, has been nominated to take up this work of training the government officers and staff in handling citizens' data in digital formats. The Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Sakshata Abhiyan I had already mentioned. And there is a need to make cyber security a mandatory subject in the universities for high decibel awareness. This is something which I also truly feel that it should be part of the core curriculum, where previously we used to have civic studies and social studies and all that, and moral studies. Today we need to have the cyber awareness studies. This also is required to be created at the college level or school level itself. Another aspect is about data localization. That debate has been happening in this country, and digital data in India was around 40,000 petabytes in 2010. Now it is shoot up many times to 2.3 billion petabytes, which is twice as fast as the global rate. This shows the sensitivity, and we are like the highly attractive spot for cyber criminals and for even for cyber warfare. So this also has economic consequences and impact, because if India houses all this data, it will become the second largest investor in the data center market. Today we all know the majority of the data centers lie in Europe and USA and all that. So, and India has big potential in this data localization initiative, both for the economy, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and also from the cyber strategic perspective of national security and internal security. Some of the examples I want to quote here, because for Nigeria, for example, has recorded all subscriber and consumer data of technology and telecom firms and government data to be located locally. Since 2013, Germany mandates that telecom and internet service providers store data locally, while Russia mandates all citizen data to be stored within its borders. So it is high time that we also work on this localization in a more clear and strategic way, and not just let the trend of the commercial interest dictate the national security or internal security requirements of the country. And most comprehensive laws are in China, where regulation covers not just personal information, but also what is termed as critical information infrastructure that encompasses all aspects of daily life. So legal aspects also say that the broad terminology paves the way for avert government access to this data and to build a strong cyber sovereignty. So in this, when we talk about cyber sovereignty, it is also imperative that we also look at how our nation is going to think about cyber sovereignty, because now the real powers are wielded in the digital domain also. And I would like to just update a few observations from the highlights of the RAISE Artificial Intelligence Conference by Ministry of Information Technology, which was just held last week. The MIT has been on a mission to empower and develop the emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, IoT, robotics, which is required for making a $5 trillion economy by 2025. Some of the observations by eminent people I have just summed up. I'll just quote the important points about the software technology parks of India is making into an interaction hub for key stakeholders. And CDAC is emerging as a very major high performance computing support for the nation, especially where impactful technologies like Indian technologies, languages translation, utilizing a speech to speech translation straight away on the fly, and also impact on social sectors and capabilities of bilingual capabilities also is having good potential for our country. In all these things, I want to highlight that security and cyber security plays a very major aspect of planning and implementation. And also AI data sets are also very important, where we have some of the path breaking work happening in NIC and NEGD about citizen engagement, where a lot of user engagement is also happening. And NASCOM Center of Excellence on IoT, where the sensors are also coming up in every place, where they are alternative sources of data. And another thing that we should be aware of, especially is the mass level propaganda that could happen due to fake news. A study of misinformation in India by University of Michigan said that the countrywide lockdown there was a number of debunked stories that were there, like there is a fake news and there is also a fake news identification and marking. So there is a good trend that at least we are now able to have make a serious effort at tackling fake news and debunk the misinformation. And a lot of things that have been come to a realization because of this COVID. People realize that it's not all the things that we see on WhatsApp or internet cannot be trusted upon directly. Fact checking is also required. Different mode of media is used to send a very fake news, which can be of loss to the nation. And also deep fake, which is now coming into focus again because of the current election in USA, and also in other words, where it could make a big societal impact in our country also. Because a major part of our population are first-time internet users and new users of technology, who are very gullible to such kind of manipulation and misinterpretation. And now, once upon a time, it used to take a lot of effort to create such kind of deep fake videos and the news thing. But now it is very easy, because even very free softwares are also available, and anybody could do something that could create a deep fake video or media in the country. And mainstream media is unfortunately facing challenges uh, in um, in sort of not controlling this misinformation and also spread of fake news. And even in our country, our elections, we need to ensure that there is no undue influence on elections using these media campaigns that could be bought and all that. Money could be used in an indirect way to influence the election outcomes. So monitoring of social media becomes a very, very important requirement. And towards my last, I just want to stress upon few things about artificial intelligence when we are using the ethics that are required about certain online rights, and also regulation of digital platforms, tooling for interpretable artificial intelligence, fighting digital bias, and also tools for making regulations. And protection of IP is also some of the key challenges in the new emerging scenario. And also when we talk about AI, because now there is talk about AI pervading every part of our life, whether it is social, professional, or at the national and state level. So whether we should see look at the benefits, whether there is any bias in the program, and also safety and trust and privacy, which are all interlinked to each other. and continuous governance and best and the best of the technology should be adopted. In this, we need to look at app technology for the app problem. Right problem is also something that we should look at it. And in Atmanirbhar Bharat, we had become self-sufficient in production of PPE kits and protection equipments recently. And in this, especially in defense, again, I want to stress that the 5 pillars of recovery, the government had made the effort to ban the import of 100 items which are of very strategic significance, and kickstarting of local production, which I had initially mentioned about self-reliance. This is a challenge for us and also an opportunity to come together across all organizations, across all states, across different ministries, across industries also, and across different corporates to put a common vision and to complement and supplement each other's strengths and work on covering our weaknesses to handle this kind of new challenge. And also this will help us in moving towards a $5 trillion economy. So with these words, I thank you everyone for giving me an opportunity to share some of the ideas uh, that are in my mind, and to put it into a very august audience to share some perspectives. Thank you so much for your patient listening to my words.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for sharing this valuable inputs from your side. And बहुत सही पॉइंट्स
Thank you.
आपने डिस्कस किए हैं सर इन द करंट सिचुएशन जहाँ पर इतनी फेक थ्रेड्स हैं, फेक मतलब न्यूज़ चल रहे हैं. So it is very important to notice that. And I think with this, uh, I'll thank you all for coming here today and sharing your expert points here. And thank you, Barun Kumar Sahu, sir, Principal Secretary, Home Department, Government of Tripura. Thank you, Maithili Sharan Gupta, sir, former Director General of Police, Madhya Pradesh Police. Loknath Behra, sir, Director General of Police, Kerala. And Nagarajan, sir, Commissioner, Higher Education, Government of Gujarat. Sir, with this it's a small token of appreciation I would like to share here. I would request my team to share the certificate of Barun Kumar Sahu, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Then for Maithili Sharan Gupta, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Maithili Sharan, sir, for coming here today. Hello. Yeah. For Loknath Behra, sir. Thank you so much, team. And for M. Nagarajan, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We will have some more questions here also live. I will share it with you all, and we'll see if we can answer that on the later in program. Thank you so much for sharing the stage
I
today.
would be really would like the reflection of my esteemed colleagues about
Ji, sir.
the protocol modification, because what is happening, we are becoming the part of the crisis which is being created, and it is a hypothetical crisis which has been created, and $1 billion of the market is being created for it, and
Right.
we are really falling prey to it. A time has come, by just modifying protocols, we can bring element of the certainty, element of enabling in terms of getting cognizance and collection evidence, and finally prosecution. Because prosecution is a solution, whether it is a fake news, whether it is a deep fake news, whatever it is. Where is the
Right.
prosecution? Where is the prosecution? Prosecution is just missing. Cognizance is just missing. So somewhere in the name of awareness, somewhere in the name of education, I'm not against that. Let it be done. But I am saying somewhere we must talk about the cognizance, and we must talk about the detection, we must talk about the conviction, that too with certainty. If that will happen, these threat will vanish. And especially
True.
because whatever they are doing in a plenty, because they are simultaneously attacking thousands and thousands of people, right? And each attempt is a separate crime. So if we could really punish them sequentially, they will languish in jail. Even यदि 1 महीने का punishment भी है, और यदि 1 महीने का punishment यदि हम sequentially करेंगे, तो it will be lifetime. This much is doable, and this is doable within the present law framework. I think we administrators should come forward to make it happen. And since India is a very big market, now we are at a really in a situation when we can influence our protocols, and we must really try on the protocol part of it, and we must link it with the location also. So inimical forces or the state-sponsored terrorism, that will not become the doable. And for the people, those who are located in those kind of the geospatial location, we can have additional protocol for them. So they should all pray to us. They should be not. We should not feel handicapped. We should
Right.
feel empowered. Now this situation from feeling absolutely helplessness and helplessness, can we go that helplessness to the empowerment? This journey has to be done. Now India is all well set in position to do it. If Matheson can do it with the 54 universities, I think if the government of India will come out for the support, it is doable within 6 months, it is doable within a year, and within a year this journey is doable. I am failing to understand why it is not happening. So I will pray once again to the Honorable Prime Minister. I will request him to really send it by the Twitter to him. And I request him that he may call me for a one-to-one session. And I will convince, without spending money, it is doable. And let's not spend government money for making it happen. All IoT devices, all CCTV should be done from the public, by the public. They will be having a stake, and the revenue stream will be coming to them. Hence, it will become a earning source of resources. The per capita income would be influenced. It is a very win-win kind of situation, and whereby we will be modifying the total GDP, we will be modifying disposable income, which will be influencing our consumption, which will be influencing our basically not only the consumption, but it will be then affect our employment also. So
Right.
I sincerely pray through your platform, let it reach to the Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji, let it reach to Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and if it is doable, then it should be done. And if someone is having the doubt, I will design the additional things which are required, because we are the person who are conceiving, who is designing, and who are making formats, who are making modules. When you need not to do anything, you have to just point out some mistakes or some gaps. We will look at the gaps and we will complete those gaps. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And for sure, actually, we do publish our post-event reports and our video links to all the government offices and the ministries. So I am very hopeful that this will reach to the correct, person you want to send it to. So
Thank
we'll
you.
try our best. Thank you so much, sir.